And welcome back to another video. We are gonna go over 5 things to avoid in your detailing business. These are in no specific order. These are just, I can make another video tomorrow talking about the 10 things you need to avoid in your detailing business. And these are gonna be good whether you're just getting started or you're more in the growth phase. So listen to all of these because these can be applicable to any size of business. And I'm really hoping moving forward that we're getting back on the YouTube grind and posting consistent videos. I've been wanting to post videos. If you look at my channel, the last year I've posted maybe like 10, I think. So I'm really hoping we have turned the tide and we are ready to start posting more consistent content, whether that's showing you day in the lives, whether that's product reviews, whether that's how-to, whether that's me just ranting. Hope I'm back because I really missed grabbing the camera and talking to you guys. So let's get started with number 1. That's gonna be spending too much of your time or money trying to find the best tools and products or testing out new products that are coming onto the market. Now look, tools and products make a difference to you as a detailer. But keep this in mind, because I've been saying this for maybe 10 years now. Once you find something that works for you, just keep on using that until it no longer works for you, right? And that's gonna be relative to wherever you are in your business, right? Like if, using a Milwaukee 15 millimeter throw polisher is going to be better than an $80 Harbor Freight polisher, right? Now, if per your budget, the Harbor Freight polisher is all you can afford, and that's the best that you can do and it's producing the results, you'll keep on using that until you get to the point where you can afford a better polisher or afford whatever new tool, right? So you have to fit it contextually to where you are in your business. Like obviously, if you always want to get the best, you're gonna end up spending more. That's just naturally how it goes, right? If you want a bigger generator, a bigger van, a bigger or more polishers or a better polisher, you're gonna spend more. So it's gonna be contextual to where you are in your business. But like here in our operation, like call it over the last 5 years, we've probably tried 4 different soaps, 3 different drying towels, 2 different polishers, right? Because once we find something that works, we're gonna keep on using that. Your business, if you're just getting started, you might have $1,000 to get everything started, right? So what you're gonna purchase is gonna be completely different than the next person that's making $25,000 a month. And here's the thing, let's say these cards right here, this one is like 9,000, this one's like 1,800, that one's like 800, another one's over there is like 600. And just think about the hundreds of other customers, right? No one has ever asked me, hey, so what brand of compound are you using? Or hey, so when you're doing the correction, what kind of polisher are you using? Are you using a rotary or a DA? Hey, when you're doing the cutting phase, what kind of pad are you using? No one, to a customer, they're not worried about the nuanced, detailed process of what you do because that's why they're hiring you. If they knew all the information, they would just go do it themselves. They're hiring you because you're the professional, because you are the expert in this area. So to the customer, what they want to know is, okay, is this person reliable? Is this business reputable? Is this person going to deliver the results that I want? It's up to you to say, hey, do I use a rotary or a DA? Do I use a wool pad or a microfiber cutting pad? Do I use a steamer or an extractor? Do I use APC diluted at 4:1 or 10:1? That's on you as a professional to figure it out yourself. But customer facing, they're not worried about that, right? So don't have that mindset of like, oh, I need to focus so much on products and I have to know every single detail about every single product because the customer is gonna care about that. No, you as a technician, as a detailer, you must know that because it's your profession. But customer facing, it's not gonna just because you know more about polishes or you have more polishers, it doesn't correlate to you growing your business more. And if you guys are looking for in-depth training on all these different areas of growing your business, whether it is sales or marketing or knowing your numbers and pricing profitably, then you can find a lot of these lessons and trainings inside of my online training platform called Detailers Growth Academy. You can click the link down below to learn more. But as of right now, there's 6 courses covering SEO and optimizing your Google business profile to creating your website with Squarespace to running your business and all the back-end operations. So if you want more in-depth training on everything on the business side of detailing, You can learn more down in the description or the first pinned comment. Number 2 is you can't grow an unprofitable business. You have to price your services accordingly. They have to be profitable. Now, what those numbers are gonna be completely dependent on your market, your area, your business, where you are in your business and what you wanna do, right? But so many times I hear this, I'm reinvesting everything back into my business, which is perfectly fine, right? It makes total sense. The issue is a lot of detailers, business owners really, but a lot of detailers use that as an excuse to why they're not profitable. And that is a very big issue because you can't outgrow being unprofitable. You can't say, man, we're not making that much money, my bank account is kind of thin, whatever the case may be, I need to get more customers. So maybe let me run ads and get more customers and I'll make more money. That is a recipe for failure because if you're not profitable with, let's say, 3 customers a week, you're not going to be profitable with 10 customers a week because the underlying basis of your numbers, of how you're pricing your jobs, of what your hourly rate goal is, of how you're budgeting your hours are not making sense. So don't have that mindset of like, oh, well, the reason why, I'm not worried about making money right now because I'm going to reinvest it all into my business. Again, that's perfectly fine. But it can be, matter of fact, your business needs to be profitable in order to you to reinvest for growth, right? Because you only fuel growth with your profits. Because that's what's going to carry everything over. Like being profitable is there's a lot of things that could be the lifeblood of your business, but being profitable and having a positive cash flow, but that's another topic. Being profitable, because you can be profitable and still got a business, but being profitable is like, you can't do anything if you're not profitable. You can't go out and run more ads because if you're not profitable and you have very thin margins, it's harder to grow your bank account. You're not able to actually like pay yourself or pay your employees more. You're not able to invest into other things because you don't have the available resource for it. If you break a windshield, if you break something and it costs $100 or $500, it's gonna hit you a lot harder because you don't have the margin for it there. Like being profitable is a big deal in your business. Like if you wanna scale to the next phase or take your business to the next level, a big part of that is being profitable. And a lot of detailers that I speak to are just simply not priced properly, are not looking at the numbers properly. So just because you say like, oh, we booked a $1,400 detail. Oh, this is gonna be a $900 detail. Oh, this is a $500 detail. Saying the top line number and being so caught up in making sure, and being so caught up in having a high top line number means nothing. You can make $10,000 a month, but if you're running at a 10% margin, you're not keeping any money, right? So don't get so stuck and think, oh, this is a $1,400 detail, so we must be making money. No, whether it's 500, 900, or 1,400, if you're not looking at your numbers to understand what's your actual cost, whether it's labor, whether it's expenses, whether it's overhead, whether it's whatever it is, if you're not actually understanding the numbers, you can be making money and still go out of business. And I see it happen all the time with detailers on how when they're running ads, when they hire someone, when they have a 2-man crew working out of one van and they're saying, hey, we're making $8,000 a month. And it's like, with 2 people, your numbers aren't making sense right now. So you have to make sure your business is profitable so it can continue to grow year after year. Moving on to the third point is, if you want to raise your prices or get a van or get a shop or do whatever it is that you want to do in your business, to get more confidence to raise your prices, to hire help, to do whatever it is you want to do, what greatly helps with that is having an influx of leads coming into your business on a daily basis, right? Like if you're getting 2 calls a week, you're a lot more reluctant and conservative to raise your prices or to hire someone because you don't have that many customers, you don't have that many opportunities to convert to customers, right? Now, if you're getting 5 leads per day, which is around 150 leads per month, you are a lot more confident to raise your prices or to require deposit or to hire help or to do these other things because you have a pipeline of business ready to book and pay you money in your business. Now, obviously, that's a big thing in itself. Like, well, how do I get 5 leads per day? Well, that comes down to marketing, right? Then I'm gonna say the same thing over and over. You have SEO, you can optimize your Google business profile, you can post on Instagram, post on TikTok, you can run Google ads, you can run meta ads on Facebook and Instagram. The methods are there for you to get customers and to get leads, right? Like we run Google ads, 85% of our customers come through SEO, our Google business profile is optimized. We generate hundreds of leads through social media organically. Like we use all platforms. So figure out which one you want to use and become a master of it, right? If you want to run ads on Google, well, learn everything that there is to do on Google Ads. Learn about landing page optimization and copywriting and optimizing Google Ads campaign. If you want to go and post on Instagram, well, look at other creators who are posting content and growing their business primarily through social media, and take that as inspiration and create your own content. But you have to become a master of a platform to squeeze every single bit of opportunity that you can from there. Like, it's not about saying, oh, well, I'm gonna run $10 on Google Ads tomorrow, and that didn't work, so I'm gonna go and post 2 videos on Instagram. Well, that didn't work, so let me go and do this SEO thing. Okay, that didn't work. You can't do that because you'll never become a master of any of these, and you'll just jump platform to platform and never give yourself the actual chance to get leads and customers from a marketing channel. But now here is the other thing though, is that you can double the growth of your business without any more leads. Even though my last point was about marketing and getting more leads, because a big part of this is also going to be your sales process. Like for instance, if you're right now closing at a 10% ratio, right? Meaning let's say you get 100 leads a month, which is like fantastic. And you get 100 leads a month and you close 10%, which means you're closing 10 customers on your schedule. You'll say, oh man, that's still not enough. Like I need to get more customers, right? So if you stay at that 10% close ratio and you want more customers, well now you're gonna say, oh well, I'm gonna go get 200 leads, still close at 10%. So now I get 20 customers on the schedule. Whereas if you keep those same 100 leads, but you increase your close ratio from 10% to 20%, you just double the amount of customers without doubling or increasing your lead flow. Now realistically, like as a whole, 10% is like that's dead low. Like you should not be at a 10% close ratio. 20% I would say like minimum you should be at, but anywhere between like 20 to 40% is like I think most people will fall in there depending on where your pricing is at. If you're closer to the 60, 70%, you're probably much lower priced. Whereas if you have a lower close ratio, you're probably a bit higher priced. Now again, this is gonna fluctuate on your market, your services, your brand and all this stuff. So it's not gonna be a singular like, hey, everyone that does this should be at this percentage and everyone that does this should be at this percentage. It's not gonna be like that. It's gonna be different for literally every business and their offering and their brand and their customers and their marketing and all these different things. But the point about this one is improving your sales process, right? Is being able to convert more of your already existing leads that you get per month, whether it's 50, whether it's 100, whether it's 25. Because if you, again, we're gonna keep it kind of extreme, but like if you have a 10% close ratio on, let's say 25 leads a month, you're closing 2.5 leads. You have 2.5 customers for the month, right? Whereas with those same 25 leads, if you're at a 50% close ratio, you'll have 12 customers for the month, right? Now let's say your average ticket is $100, right? In the first example, you're gonna make around $250. Where in the second example, when you're closing 12 customers, you're making around $1,200, right? Just by improving your sales process. Now again, something else that we can talk about is in that sales process, it's also upselling other services to increase the average ticket price. So if you could take $100 average ticket and you increase it to $150, well now you're able to make more money without generating more leads, without getting more customers, but by simply increasing the average ticket item per customer. So a big part of this whole process is also having an optimized sales process. Because again, like you can't outgrow a crappy sales process. Like you can't say, oh, well, we'll just spend more money on marketing and get more leads. If your sales process is not good and you're closing at 10%, you can't outspend that. You can't outmarket that. Like your sales process sucks. Because now let's say, for the year, you're closing at a 50% close ratio. Well now, if you generate 100 leads in 1 month, you'll get 50 customers out of that. And again, if your average ticket price, let's just say for an example, is $100 per customer, Well, then now you're making you're making $5,000 for that month based off that formula. So a big part to all this is having a dialed in sales process. Number 5 is keeping the main thing the main thing. So often what I see is detailers want to expand their services because, you know, they'll make more money. Now, there's obviously some truth to that, right? Like if you add more services, you'll make more money. The issue becomes, one, is like it has to be the right timing to do it. Because if you're already struggling doing just detailing, it's a very high chance that if you add window tint or some other, whatever other service you want to do, you're still going to struggle because you don't even have the core service down of detailing. So you don't want to keep on expanding more and more services just to fill the void of you not being able to generate enough leads for your business already, right? Another point within this is that, like, if you like, and I see this a lot with people wanting to go get a shop. And then they say, yeah, and if I get a shop, I can outsource PPF and bring someone in-house. You're already going way off the wayside, because if you are trying to get a shop and the first thing you're thinking about is I can get a contractor and outsource it out and they can do it in here, you're already setting yourself up for failure. Because if you can't get a shop standing on your own 2 feet of just saying, hey, we are doing details, that's our main focus, whether it's, you know, express style or interior or correction, like if you can't stand on your 2 feet with just that alone, one, you don't need a shop, and then two, it's not going to fix your issues of whatever else you're having, right? So keep the main thing the main thing. Don't have this shiny object syndrome of saying, oh, well, if I get a shop, I want to offer window tint and PPF and vinyl wrap and PDR. And it's like, are you going to do all those services? Because don't get me wrong, you can if you're giving yourself enough time over, let's say, like 3-4 years to learn everything. But you're not going to be able to master any of those if you're saying, oh, well, next year we want to offer window tint, PPF, and vinyl wrap, and you're going to do all 3 of them. That's simply not enough time to actually master all of those. Like, you have to give yourself time to learn this new skill. Not only learn the skill, but then market your services, market your business to attract those kind of customers. And if right now your business is already struggling with just detailing in itself, adding a new service is not gonna fix any of that. Like, it's only gonna create more and more problems. But I'm gonna end the video right there. I am super pumped to hopefully post more content on YouTube, because I've been wanting to pick up the camera and talk to you guys a lot more. And also post more content on social media, which I have been doing. So, you know, follow me on Instagram if you haven't. But yeah, the goal is to really post more content on Detail Groove. I've been somewhat consistent on my podcast. So you want to go check that out, the Detailing Business Class podcast. Those I've actually been uploading maybe 4 to 5 episodes a month or more. So, but the big thing is, like, on Detail Groove here, to post more content, whether it's how-tos or products or what we got going on in the shop or just other business lessons. So anyways, hopefully you learned something. If you want to access my Detailers Growth Academy that has 6+ courses inside of there covering sales, marketing, and operations, you can find that down below. Thank you very much. I actually have Angel right here. He's doing some phone calls, booking out the schedule. So I'll talk to you guys on the next one.